Hello and welcome to another installment of my thoughts where I share my thoughts about comic books and graphic novels that I read. And today I'm going to talk about one of the most hyped comic books by Keanu Reeves. It's his comic book debut, co-written with Matt Kindt and artwork by Ron Gurney. Berserker, you must have heard about his. It's kind of broke all kind of records in terms of sales and everything. The series will run for 12 issues. This is volume 1 and collects the first 4 issues of the series. I think issue 5 is out and issue 6 is about to be released or something, at least when I'm making this video. So my first opinion, and it's completely a personal opinion, I feel it's a bit overhyped than the actual content is. So artwork is fabulous, there's no complaint about it. So the story starts with this mission. So here you see Keanu Reeves, our main guy, Berserker. So they attack on a facility and it's all mayhem, and this is basically the storytelling. There isn't much in terms of narration, there's only visuals. At times there are only visuals. See, like this panel, there's nothing much happening in terms of story. It's just a clear-cut mission. There's loads and loads of violence. So in the process he gets destroyed. So he is like an immortal god or something. He's trying to figure out his past, who he really is. So he's working for the US government, and the US government has promised and he's working for the US government since centuries, and the US government has promised him that they will help him find out who he really is, and they have been experimenting on him for centuries to find an answer. So they go back into his memories and trigger his past. So then we move on to the second chapter, which basically tells something about his past, like he was born in this like very old prehistoric sort of community, which was frequently raided by other invaders or other villagers or other tribes. And then his father and mother, they pray the gods to give them a weapon or something to help them protect from the savages who attack them. And this is how the child is born, who will become the berserker. He is trained, and then his father uses him like a weapon to destroy the other tribe, and not initially destroy, to protect his tribe from these savages. Initially that was his purpose. And then we move on to the third chapter, which further progresses the story of this boy who's now like a grown-up man, and his father kind of manipulates him to conquer other lands, other villages, other kingdom, and he becomes this killing machine. And then we come back to the fourth chapter, where we cut back to the present day, where it is said, like in one of these missions, or one of this invasion, something goes horribly wrong, and then he kind of loses his motivation for everything that was doing, for his family, for his parents, and eventually he realizes that he can't die and he has to live with whatever he has done in the past. And this is where the story ends, basically trying to find out answers who he really is. There is a minor twist in the last page, but I don't want to tell you what it is, because that might be a spoiler. But it's not a spoiler, it's like my interpretation. It seems like he has already been cloned by the government, and they have built an army or something. I may be absolutely wrong, because I haven't read issue 5 at all. So those who have read issue 5 can confirm if that's how the story progresses. Now, like I said, the narrative isn't that really engaging that I was hooked to it, and it's a very quick read. It took me a couple of hours to finish it, because there isn't much of narration at time. There is only just action, you see, There's only action. There is not even a single word in this panel. So most of the comic tales of this graphic novel is only action sequences to fill up the pages. The artwork is gorgeous. It's bloody, violent action. I would love to see the screen adaptation, how they go about the violence, because the violence is very extreme, very extreme. You're taking out girls, beheading, and all kind of things happening. And the artwork by Ron Garney is perfect. It goes with the story. It goes with the dark vibe. It's like he understands what the writer wants. Now, it is co-written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt, so I don't know what it really is. Whose idea is this? I think it's mostly Keanu Reeves' idea, or at least how it is being that's how it is marketed all over the world. And that's one of the reason I think is Keanu Reeves' celebrity status, which is making this series highly popular among comic book fans. But there's nothing new. It's like the old wine in a new bottle. Is like we have seen those immortal men living throughout centuries, trying to figure out who they were, who they are, and what is their purpose, and all those kind of stuff. It is interesting. I am intrigued to know what happens by the end of this series, and we'll complete it. I think the second volume will be released next year, because for that there are 3 more volumes that are supposed to come out. So I'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes. Now that I've started it, I'll see. But this is not something that I'll consider as a must read, at least for the first volume. Yeah, it's understandable that it deals with it introduces the basic premise and the character, so it doesn't have much to say in that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about the comic book and the artwork. The quality of the book is pretty great. There's a lot of bonus material. There's quite a few art pages. There's a short profile of all the creators who have worked on this project, so you can read them. Then other than that, that's pretty much all the 4 issues that they have in this series. So I think that's pretty much it for Berserker. If you have read it, or if you have read issue 5 or beyond, do leave a comment and tell me like how the story goes, and is it worth reading, worth continuing this series or not. Would like to know your thoughts on it, so you can mention it in the comments. So until then, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.